You know, for decades, the word inoperable has been one of the most devastating things a cancer patient could hear. It was a final verdict. But what if the rule book for what's even possible in surgery is being completely torn up and rewritten? Today, we're diving into oncovascular surgery, a field where surgeons don't just take out tumors, they actually rebuild the body's most critical highways to get the job done. So here's the central problem, right? Just imagine a tumor that's so tangled up with major arteries and veins, we're talking the body's essential plumbing, that trying to remove it seems impossible without causing a total catastrophe. For years, this exact scenario has stopped potentially life-saving surgery right in its tracks. And the stakes? Well, they couldn't be higher. For a cancer like pancreatic cancer, the 5-year survival rate is a really grim 10%. And when a tumor is wrapped around those critical blood vessels, that number historically has been even worse. This one single stark number shows you exactly why we need radical, new ways of thinking. Okay, so how did surgeons manage to turn impossible into possible? Here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll get a handle on what makes a tumor unresectable. Then we'll look at the big idea that completely rewrote the playbook. We're going to get into the incredible how-to of actually rebuilding a vein, see the amazing impact it has on saving limbs, and finally, we'll weigh the big risks against the incredible results. All right, first up, the unresectable problem. Let's get right to the heart of why a tumor's location can be every bit as important as its size. Okay, so you're going to hear this word a lot, resectability. Basically, before any big cancer operation, doctors look at scans to figure out if a tumor can be safely taken out. And the number one red flag, when that tumor has grown around a major blood vessel. For a long time, that was the line in the sand. If the cancer was touching that vessel, surgery wasn't no-go. And let me be clear, this wasn't just a guideline, it was a hard stop. It meant that surgery, which is often the best shot at a cure, was completely off the table. Patients were told their cancer was unresectable, and their options were basically limited to treatments that might slow the disease down, but couldn't get rid of it. But then, some surgeons started asking a totally revolutionary question. Instead of trying to painstakingly peel the tumor off the blood vessel, what if we just take the vessel out with the tumor? This quote right here, it just perfectly captures the new mindset. The whole problem gets reframed. A blood vessel that's caught up in the tumor isn't a barrier anymore. It's just another piece that needs to be removed to get clean margins. For these patients, this isn't just an option, it is the only option for a cure. So how on earth do they actually do this? It sounds like science fiction. Let's get into the real nuts and bolts, or, the clamps and sutures, of rebuilding one of the body's most critical pathways. It really breaks down into 3 core steps. Think of it like repairing a badly damaged section of a superhighway. First, you've got to gain control by stopping the traffic. Surgeons do this by putting clamps on the vein both above and below the tumor. Second, you resect. You take out the whole damaged section, the tumor and the piece of vein it's stuck to, all in one go. And third, you rebuild. You create a new clear path to get that traffic, in this case blood, flowing smoothly again. And the surgical toolkit for that rebuilding phase is just fascinating. If the gap is pretty short, surgeons can often just stitch the 2 healthy ends back together. If only a little piece of the vein wall was involved, they can basically put a patch on it, kind of like fixing a pothole on a road. But for the really long gaps, they need a whole new piece of pipe to bridge the distance, and that's called an interposition graft. So where do they get these spare parts? Well, this is the really cool part. Ideally, they come from the patient's own body. A surgeon can take a section of a less critical vein, maybe from the leg or the neck, and repurpose it. This is called an autologous vein, and it's the gold standard because your body isn't going to reject its own tissue, which means a much lower risk of infection compared to using synthetic materials. And what's amazing is that this technique isn't just for those deep abdominal cancers. It has totally changed the game for how surgeons treat sarcomas. Those are cancers that can pop up in the arms and legs. The difference is just night and day. In the past, if you had a sarcoma in your thigh that was stuck to the main artery, the safest, simplest way to make sure you got all the cancer was often amputation. That's it. The limb was gone. But now, using these exact same principles, surgeons can take out the tumor and that section of artery, graft in a new vessel, and completely save the limb. And the results? They are nothing short of remarkable. The limb salvage rate in these super complex cases is now over 90%. Think about that. That means 9 out of 10 people who might have once faced an amputation can now keep their arm or leg, all because of this ability to resect and rebuild blood vessels. Okay, I know what you're probably thinking.
This all sounds incredibly complicated, really high stakes, which of course leads to the most important question of all. Is it actually worth the risk? Let's take a look at what the numbers really say.
This is the crucial question, right? If you go through this absolutely massive, complex operation, do you really have a better chance at long-term survival than someone with a simpler tumor? You might naturally assume the answer is no, that these are sicker patients with more advanced cancer. But here's the part that is just astonishing. The data clearly shows that for patients with pancreatic cancer, the 5-year survival rates are the same, whether they needed a vascular resection or not. Just let that sink in for a second. This incredibly complex surgery takes patients with so-called borderline resectable disease and gives them the exact same chance at a cure as patients who had less complicated tumors. It completely levels the playing field. Now, that doesn't mean it's a walk in the park. It's absolutely not. The risks are very real. These surgeries take a lot longer, and there is a higher rate of major complications. One of the biggest worries is thrombosis. That's blood clots forming in that newly rebuilt vein. But here's the critical part. While the complication rate is higher, the data shows no difference in the risk of dying from the operation itself.
And you know what? The story doesn't end here. The field isn't standing still. Rebuilding veins is one thing, but rebuilding arteries, the high-pressure side of the whole system, that's an even bigger challenge, and it's more controversial. But even there, specialized centers are pushing the boundaries, figuring out ways to do what was once thought impossible.
So, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's that we are witnessing a true paradigm shift. This is so much more than just a new surgical trick, it's a fundamental change in philosophy. A physical barrier that once defined a tumor as unbeatable is now just seen as a technical challenge that can be overcome. It's given real hope and a real chance for a cure to thousands of patients who never had it before. And that kind of leaves us with one final thought to chew on. If surgeons can now remove and literally rebuild the body's most essential highways, it really makes you wonder, what's going to be the next frontier? What's the next definition of unresectable that's about to be rewritten?